And when they in their manifesto said we want this to be bigger than Oklahoma City and all this other stuff, it has been. Outside of September 11th, it is the most insularly bad moment this country has seen in
Did you
some.
find out about this from BX, you were saying? Is that where you
No,
first
I
heard about
found
it?
out. So I found this out through the best channel I've ever come across on YouTube. Is a channel called Disturb Reality. I I've talked to him, I've interviewed him. He is the best creator I've ever seen on this type of
Disturbed
content.
reality. I want to see.
Yeah, he it's the first one.
Okay, first one.
First
Yeah.
one. He essentially covers disturbing content on video, and he talks about everything from cartel executions to viral videos. I don't know if you know, but there's a weird community on the internet of people that are interested in gore.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it before.
And
That's like even the run the gauntlet shit, right, Alessi?
yeah, so everything from like rotten.com, that stuff years ago. But there's a subset of like these videos, and he basically watches them so you don't have to. And he not only includes what happens, but he tells a backstory. And he's actually, if you like cartel history, he's actually really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen this channel before. I want to
But
check it out, but I'm
he's done
interested in
some
this guy.
he's done some videos on 764. He did a video about some of the stuff they were up to. And he actually covered the Romanian murder. He did a video, and that's where I had gotten it on my wavelength. And I started looking into them, and I realized like this is organized crime at this point. This is a group of people who are kind of governing a certain way of doing things, and they're they're picking on people really. And it's sad because like there are a lot of situations that I found that people are actually offing themselves
Oh, it's horrible.
on behalf
Yeah.
of this group.
And they feel like they, and this is the first I'm hearing about this group, but this phenomenon you're talking about where people, get involved in shit online and then feel like they have no way out and off themselves. It's like they're afraid to talk. That's the other sad reality here. They're like, when it's kids, they're afraid to talk to their parents about it and bring them in because, they're like their parents.
They think they're doing something wrong.
Yeah, they'll be
Right.
disappointed. So it would be easier on my parents. Like that's where they get themselves. I'll just do this. And it's so
Well, I think
fucking tragic.
I think this is the sad like denouement that we're in because of like coronavirus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think a lot of this stuff
Yes.
was introduced with that, where like kids just had like essentially a year where they were
More
able
than
to,
that.
yeah, well, we had nothing to do, and the people like this, like they're opportunists, they're leeches, and they're going to prey on weak people. And that's the sad part is they're going after weak people.
Yes.
Most of the people involved in doing this, like you just said, are kids. They're other kids doing this. And most of them are LARPers. They're mostly just like jerk offs, like, with no social standing.
Right.
They're incels,
Exactly.
like, and they feel in a world like the biggest losers in the world are Reddit moderators, right? Like they're just like goofy, like LARPers who have no power in the world. They do nothing in life, and that's their job. And we see on Discord, it's the same way. It's just these goofy people that have no power in the world, and this is the only power they own. And they then take it and they turn it inward and they just bully people, I'm blown away Discord still's a lot around. Like
Yeah.
I thought it would have been gone by
I
now.
think I was telling you off camera. It's like the 4chan of COVID.
Yeah.
But what you say about
And look into 4chan and how connected 4chan is to school shootings, to
Oh, yeah.
to all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's
there's a lot of people that use it.
and it all goes back to the one insular moment, Columbine. Every shooter references that. And when they in their manifesto said we want this to be bigger than Oklahoma City and all this other stuff, it has been. Outside of September 11th, it is the most insularly bad moment this country has seen in 25 years.
Yeah. No, it's and
Because
it
it's ushered in.
created a movement.
Yep. And it's ushered in social rejects that worship it and then act it out.
And you made a great point a little bit ago where you were talking about the profile of these kids. It's always
all the same.
It's always the same.
Yep.
You know.
It's kids who feel, and look, there are a lot of kids that are bullied. We were all bullied at one point. But we're seeing now it's a lot of them are just like, there are a lot of bad ones now, a lot of bad kids that are neo-Nazi views or like, And you wonder, like, how does this go in someone's house and you don't know? Like, if you're, yeah. I mean, you really don't know what the kid's doing
You don't know.
behind that black thing at the back. So
You see what those algorithms do, man, regardless of what platform you're on. Could be everything from fucking Instagram
Yep.
to YouTube to 4chan.
and like, I will also say, like, and I'm sure this creator will tell you the same thing. I've seen every video on the surface web, probably that's bad that you can see. And like, I know after a while, like I watch a cartel execution video or two and I'm like, I got to stop watching this.
Yeah.
And like, you think about these young kids, they sit there and watch this shit all day. They then sit and they play a game that's so real that, you know, how can you not play it and think it's real after a while? And
Yeah.
you begin to realize, like, maybe this is part of my life and this is me.
That's right.
And that's why, like, I remember when they blamed video games on this stuff and people were like, oh, you can't blame music or video games. And it's like, I hate to tell you, you can. You definitely can.
It gets weird because you have to, especially living in America, you got to have a free market, which is
Sure.
a free market of ideas and a free market of people being able to make decisions. It gets very strange when those decisions involve kids, and that's where you have to put the onus on parents, but then parents aren't around, and is that their fault? And then the kids make decisions, and
Well, they
play
got
these
around
video
that because
games.
they put that, remember that thing on video games? It was for 18 and older.
Oh, yeah.
But they never
Right,
cared,
yeah, it's just a lawyer figured that out
And people
somewhere.
thought like, oh, if we put this on, like, I'm sure the people at the store won't sell it. It's like,
Yeah, it is definitely affecting our kids. And then you add in like COVID to me, that period was, you know, I guess you could say intentionally or unintentionally, depending on what actually fucking happened there. It was the worst type of Trojan horse because it put people in this, all right, we're all going to band together by going inside and going away from shit. And then, by the way, this is going to last a lot longer, so you're going to get used to it. You're going to get used to the comfort of not, you know, going past your fucking family room and not having a purpose other than to play video games.
and you
fuck
have
around.
to do it.
And you have to do
There's
it.
no other choice. And
That's right.
everybody's going to do it, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And everybody massively goes to the computer. And before you know it, these communities pop up. And I just wonder what will happen next, you know, because it just all evolves and gets worse and worse, a lot of this stuff. But luckily, like I said, the FBI is starting to look into it a little bit. And, you know, hopefully they're bringing awareness to people. And like I said, if you have kids, just, you see that Discord thing, you better look through that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It'll come across very innocent. It'll be like, hey, you know, I was a bulimic once, you know, do you need help? You know?
All the high-level government people that I talk with, every single one, their kids do not have phones.
I was always curious about, like, I don't have kids, and you said you don't either. I mean, I didn't get a phone till I was 15.
Yeah,
probably.
same.
I mean, and I think I ended up getting it myself. I just wanted one, so I went out and got a prepaid. But like it wasn't.
I gotta get the lines checked.
Yeah, it wasn't like it is now, where like you'll see like 4 or 5-year-old kids. They
Yeah.
have phones. It's like,
yeah, it's crazy.
what does a 4-year-old need a phone for?
Oh,
Like,
again, those same people I just talked about, when you start asking them about it, they get grim.
well,
When
that's
they
the thing
talk
too.
about those examples, like, you have no idea what you're doing to this.
I was talking to my mother about that because like we have like nieces and nephews and stuff that are younger, and like if you take like the iPad away, they like start crying.
Yeah.
And like the parents will say like, I just give it to them, and it's almost like a way to parent actually at this point, where like
Yeah.
you don't want to hear them, so you just give them the iPad, and it's like what you're doing is you're doing that day after day for
Yeah.
years on end. Kid turns into a robot, and it's like, what did we do wrong? When I was a kid, we, like, you know, you're same age, we played outside, we
That's right.
colored, we, you know, did stuff with our parents, we went to amusement parks. Like nowadays, you're away for summer break, you're playing this game and that game and Fortnite and all this other stupid stuff. Now, I'm not saying I never played video games. Of course you did. But that was before we went out and played outside, you know?
Yeah, my mom used to have a line from the pre-iPhone era when I was a kid where she's like, you can't let the TV be a babysitter.
Yep. Well,
And
nowadays,
and now, like, I mean, forget a TV. You got the phone, you got the iPad, the screen's on everything. Everything's a babysitter.
and if you don't do that for your kid, they almost guilt you when they're old enough. as you're not a good parent. My all my other friends have this. Why can't I?
And that's such a tough battle.
And it's
too.
like I don't, because what do you do?
Yeah, there's stuff where parents do get too helicoptery and protective and just can't let their fucking kid be a kid. I'm with that. But that's going to be a weird battle when it's like there is something it's not like, oh, you can't see this movie or something like that. But it's like, oh, I don't want you addicted to a fucking, 4.5-inch screen for the rest of your life in the palm of your hand. So even if your friends have this, I don't want you to have this yet. Like, that is where it's going to get
But I
very
think
weird.
Devil's advocate. I mean, I just told you I worshiped John Gotti as a kid. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
I think you just kind of hope that you do enough for your kids and they learn enough.
You can grow out of that, though.
Yes.
That's not an addiction.
This
is an addiction.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. And
I'll take the John Gotti worship all day.
yeah, posters on the front
Yeah.
bedroom door. Yeah.
I thought Vito Corleone was really cool. In some ways, I still do.
I mean,
But
you
he's a movie
watch
character.
Scarface, you think Tony Montana's cool. But that's what movies do. And
Yeah.
But as my father always said, it's just a movie.
Yeah.
And it's not
That's
real.
right. That's
and,
right.
This, as you said, the phone, it is real.
Mm-hmm.
And everything you do, and I've learned that the most. You've seen these videos. Some of these videos I'm not proud of. I wish some of these I could get off the internet. I mean, I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of. But as I know very well, the internet lives forever.
Yeah.
Because you could have something removed, but if someone's already screenshotted it.
Oh, it's there.
Yeah. So everything you do now, I mean, when you're out on, talking to somebody and something happens in the court, you don't know who's pulling a phone out.
That's right.
And they only take a certain part of it and send it to TMZ or to some news company. So it's
scary.
It's a wild world. And that's why your mafia and group like that, that's why they'll never last, because you can't get in front of technology.
Right.
Back in the 30s, you could kill somebody and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
The mob, and groups like that, they can't do this. You go to this city right here, there's a camera every 20 feet.
Oh, it's
10
so
feet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
so
advanced in that way. I guess some of that's good.
So
but
what
then
they
it's
do
also
is
scary.
Now the groups are on the internet, right?
Uh-huh.
Crypto and all that stuff. So
100%.
yeah, it's an interesting world.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.